Hey, before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the full story. It's about to get intense. The night I found her diary started like any other. Rain tapping lightly against the windows, the faint hum of the city outside, and the soft rhythm of our old clock in the hallway. My wife, Anya, had just gone upstairs to bed. I lingered in the living room, nursing a half-empty cup of coffee, scrolling through my phone, trying to quiet the nagging unease I couldn't name. Anya and I had been married for 8 years. People called us the perfect couple, but lately something felt fractured. Little things, the way her phone buzzed and she'd hide it instantly, the sudden late nights at work, her distracted smile when I spoke, had started piling up in my mind like a storm cloud. I told myself I was imagining it. I hoped I was. The diary was tucked behind a stack of novels on her bedside shelf, nearly invisible. I found it by accident, a simple shift in the books. The leather cover was worn, soft from years of use. Curiosity and dread wrestled inside me as I opened it. Her handwriting sprawled across the pages. At first ordinary, daily notes, reminders, fleeting thoughts. Then the tone shifted. There were entries about a man she'd met on a train. She called him M. At first, it seemed innocent. Fleeting conversations, shared jokes, a mutual appreciation for obscure music. But the entries grew bolder. I couldn't stop thinking about him today. One line read, underlined twice. Another, the way he looked at me, it scared me how much I wanted it to be more than a train ride. The words burned through me like fire across ice. I sank onto the couch, trying to breathe through the shock, the betrayal. My hands shook. Every shared memory, every promise of forever, now felt fragile, suspect. Outside, the rain hammered harder against the glass. I closed the diary, unsure whether to confront her now or pretend I hadn't seen it. And then I noticed a message on her phone, just one, that hadn't sounded urgent before, but now made my chest tighten. Meet me tonight. Don't tell anyone. And in that instant, I knew nothing would ever be the same. The night stretched long, each tick of the clock echoing in my skull. Anya slept upstairs, unaware that I hadn't moved from the living room, clutching her diary and staring at the message again. Meet me tonight. Don't tell anyone. The words replayed in my mind, a pulse of anger, fear, and disbelief. I decided to follow her. Quiet as a shadow, I grabbed my coat and slipped out, the rain soaking me instantly, masking my approach. The streets glistened under the yellow streetlights, reflections of broken promises mirrored in puddles. My heart hammered. Was I about to catch a misunderstanding, or confirm the nightmare that had been forming in my mind? The train station was nearly empty. Damp air, the faint scent of wet concrete, and the low murmur of distant announcements filled the silence. And then I saw him. A stranger, tall, confident, leaning casually against a railing. Anya's hand brushed against his, hesitant but intimate. I froze. The world narrowed to that single moment. Their laughter, quiet and private, as if I didn't exist. Her eyes met mine for a brief second, panic flashing, and then she pulled away, whispering something I couldn't hear. M nodded, smirking like a conspirator. Every instinct screamed at me, but I stayed hidden, recording, observing, heart breaking in real time. Back home, I couldn't sleep. I went through her diary again, every entry a fresh wound. She had written about stolen kisses in quiet corners, late-night texts filled with longing, the thrill of secrecy. Each word shredded my trust, my love, my years of marriage. I tried to confront her that night, words catching in my throat. Why? Was all I managed. But she froze, guilt flashing across her face for just a second before slipping into practiced denial. It's nothing. Just a friend from the train. Don't make this bigger than it is. I knew it wasn't nothing. I knew it was betrayal, wrapped in the faint scent of perfume and lies. And as I watched her retreat into the bedroom, pretending all was normal, my mind raced. How do you respond to something like this? To someone you loved, to someone you trusted with your life? And then a thought settled cold and clear. If she thought she could hide this, she had another thing coming. Morning light spilled across the floorboards, harsh and unflinching, revealing the remnants of a night that felt like a war zone. I hadn't slept. My hands still shook, my chest ached, and every time I saw Anya moving about the house, the sight of her felt alien. I left her diary open on the dining table, page splayed to the last entry. Then I waited. She noticed almost immediately. Her face drained of color when her eyes fell on it, then hardened defensively. You read that?" she whispered. "I did," I said, voice calm but cold, every syllable deliberate. And I saw the messages. The train. She faltered, lips trembling. I didn't mean for it to. Didn't mean for it to what? I cut in. Destroy everything? Make me question every memory, every word you ever said? My hands clenched the edges of the table. Do you have any idea what it feels like to love someone completely, only to realize they've been living a lie behind your back? She looked down, shame and fear flickering in her eyes. For the first time, no deflection, no rehearsed excuses. She whispered, almost to herself, "I was lonely. I didn't know how to tell you." I felt the sharp sting of heartbreak and the bitter taste of anger. Loneliness? Betrayal? One doesn't excuse the other. I realized in that love alone isn't enough when honesty dies. I left the house that morning, keys on the counter, diary in hand. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I simply walked into the rain, the city swallowing my steps. Later, I changed my locks, deleted our shared accounts, and started rebuilding my life around one truth. Trust broken is not easily mended. Weeks passed. She reached out, messages full of apologies, promises, and pleas. I read them once, set my phone down, and didn't reply. Freedom, I realized, was revenge. It was reclaiming my own peace. Sometimes I think of her, of the train that set all of this in motion, and I feel sorrow for the love I lost, for the years of deception, and for the lesson I had to learn the hardest way. Love is not betrayal's shield. If you've ever faced heartbreak or betrayal, share your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Sometimes, the best way to heal is to let your voice be heard.